Welcome, everybody. It's kind of morning, 11 o'clock. We gonna do some drawing. So I figured I'm gonna be drawing, might as well throw the stream up, right? Oh, and my audio is connected, so that's good because a lot of times I forget to throw that up. We need to change these colors in the background though. This is incorrect Roronoa Zoro colors. Let's do this. Yeah, that's better. So yeah, if you're a One Piece fan, we are going to be drawing this card idea with Roronoa Zoro, with Zoro from One Piece. It is going to be something like what we have here. This is a card from Palmeline. A French artist, and I loved the concept of this. Got a hold of the printer. You can see the reflection of my computer in there. Got a hold of the printer, and so I'm going to be making 5 different character designs. One is almost done, Zenitsu. Second is almost done, so 2 are almost done, and it is a Koi Samurai character, original character of mine. This is the 3rd one that I'll actually be sketching, and then I have 2 more characters to think of. I'm really considering doing Nishinoya, which I probably will, from Haikyuu, and then possibly another One Piece character, maybe Trafalgar Law. I don't know much about him, but I like his initial appearance. So, or maybe I'll do Dark King Rayleigh, however you say it, because he's also a really freaking sweet character. Old guy passing on his stuff to the next generation, which I feel you. So, yeah, maybe something like that. We'll see. Maybe one of those characters. But today, again, we are working with Zoro specifically. So, what I will do is I will go ahead and show you the other cards that I have up, so you can see exactly what they look like, to give you a concept of what we're going to be doing as far as these cards go. I'm only, like, they're limited edition. I'm only going to be having 6 of each, and also possibly keeping 1 of each for myself. So 5 of each, and I will sell them at a con that I'm doing in Bratislava, and if they don't sell there, they'll be up for sale elsewhere. So where is this? Why don't I have here? Let me open this other one real quick. Here it is. Okay, so let's switch to where you guys can see. So here's the Zenitsu card. Here's the Zenitsu card that we're going to be working with, and yeah, it's pretty sweet, I think. Let me adjust this. I actually want this over top of this. Yeah, because you don't need that there. Sorry, I'm adjusting my vertical stream over here. So here's the Zenitsu card we're working with, almost done. I'm deciding what's going to glow. Probably all the white stuff, his eyes, the lightning, the triangles on his outfit, and maybe this edge thing around. The other one we are doing is this Koi Samurai. So with the Koi Samurai, we're almost done with this. I'm deciding if I want to keep this name, Yamato, or not. This is going to have a gold effect on the Koi, and also probably the background of his name and maybe his sword. I haven't decided yet. So that's the thing I have to think through, is when they're printing and making these cards, what part do I want holographic, what part do I want gold? And then at the same time, I still have to create this little card up here at the top. And and then also the background on each of them. So for each character, I'll be doing that stuff. I know what I'm going to put on the back of Zenitsu's card. I don't know yet for the Koi Warrior, old Yamato. So, yeah. So today, we are at the very basic stage of the Zoro card, right? So here's the Zoro card so far. I'm just working the background sketch that you see here is actually a picture that I took from my sketchbook, and now I'm going over it, sketching digitally and fixing any stuff that I need to, proportions or twisting something if if that's something I want to do, if I feel like it needs to be done. That is definitely the upside of digital art, is that you can do that. You can just straight up adjust proportions and everything super easy, which is really nice to do that. So the downside of digital art is you tend to go super hardcore into details for stuff that people mostly aren't going to see. because you can zoom in and it looks cool, and maybe it would work well on a bigger print that people would see. But yeah, also the Koi Samurai took a lot more work because it's an original character, so I have a lot more detail in him versus like anime characters that are fan art, because they don't have so much detail. A lot of them don't, I would say, but with good reason, because if you have to recreate it over and over and over, you don't want a huge level of detail and stuff besides like in their eyes. So the typical anime stuff. So yeah, join me, grab your tea, chill. If you got questions, feel free. I'm going to just send this link around to some people in case they want to like hop on. And yeah, so real quick, we're gonna do this. And we're gonna just copy the link, and I'm gonna put it in this Discord to see. All right, let's throw it in here. Can I put that in the promo yourself? Seems like the right. All right. So, and then I just want to send, yeah, sorry, I'm just sending this to a few people who like to know if I'm going live about stuff. So, send a few of these out. More send. Pick a few people. If they want to hop in or watch. We'll see. Yeah, I always like, just to get more people in early on while I have a low follower count, I send messages out to like people. Like I actually have had people ask me like, hey, will you send me a message when you're going live, because I don't always get notifications. Where is this glare coming from? Where is this coming from? Oh, it's coming from this thing. No? Something over here. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Get back into the sketch. There's like a lot of work going into live streaming sometimes. Like sometimes it's extremely stressful just to get started. And I can understand why a lot of people don't want to do it because one, you have to be comfortable with just talking to the camera. Two, you gotta like, I don't necessarily want to look like trash, right? Like on screen. Like you don't have to have a camera going, but it's just nice, I think, to interact with people. And then like it feels just much more personal when you can see me talking to you and you can see my reactions and stuff. And so, but then also like posting everywhere that you're going live, making sure your setup is good to go. Like it was so stressful for me early on without this nice setup that I have now, because it was like making sure the cameras were going to work, making sure everything was going to hooked up, going between my iPad and PC stuff. And it was like absolutely obnoxious trying to get stuff ready. And then something goes wrong and you're just like, okay, cool. I live streamed for what? But then also if you're paying attention to how many people are watching and stuff, that can be extremely discouraging. So, but you gotta start somewhere. Like, so I understand why a lot of people don't do it. I get stressed about it. And so, yeah. And then it's like you finally start and you're 11 minutes in and you haven't even started drawing, right? So anyways, for me personally, I like to be real and personal with people watching, and honest and genuine. And so yeah, it's not always just about the art itself, because I hope people follow me also for personality and other things that they enjoy. And if you are watching this later, I appreciate you. I want you to know that as well. I mean, I appreciate people who are watching it live. I can see that there's nobody right now, but if you do ever hop in and watch live, I really appreciate that. And if you chat, like it's really helpful. But if not, no big deal. And if you're catching this later, awesome. Feel free to leave comments down below. Going live on YouTube is not so discoverable. I don't think there's a good browse feature yet for it. At least as far as I know. I do watch some YouTube lives of certain people, but not so many. So I don't know how other people's process looks. Maybe my process is super long because I have a sketch and then a sketch and then basically another sketch. I like sketch stuff 3 times just to clean stuff up. And maybe that's not helpful. But for me, I don't know if it's a confidence issue at the moment, or I just like cleaning things up first before I ink. That could be it as well. But like making sure they're really nice and clean. So this is our boy Zoro. I also still need to add a bunch of details for the swords, because again, this is just a sketch. I didn't do the design specifically of the swords that he has, so I need to look that up and see exactly what they look like. Those ears are not in the same height. I will say maybe it's pretty basic, as some people would say, but the fact that Zoro is easily one of my favorite characters in the show, for multiple reasons. Mainly, I mean, they all have like a great loyalty to Luffy for different reasons, but it's a loyalty that's earned as well. It's not just like they follow him blindly for no reason. And I would say that it's actually like born out of love and like genuine care. like because he really he really sees people for who they are, like early on when he's adding them to his crew. And it's people that would like never expect it, because they're just not necessarily rejected by society, but they kind of just live lonely lives. Actually, a lot of them live very lonely lives. Like when you think about it, all of them. But Zoro is one of the first people, or the first character he adds to his crew. And it's pretty sweet how he does it. So still working on learning my style of things, and also a lot of times I just don't want to copy the exact style that the original drawings are in, and that's difficult at times too, like because then also you run into the issue like I had the other day where I did a Demon Slayer piece, and I'm gonna have them also, and it was like a different style than the original, right? Like it's cyberpunk, so you still have to take the elements that show that it's that person, right? Because clearly people aren't gonna notice it right away if I didn't add those elements. And I did I'm drawing a blank, Nezuko, and I showed it to somebody and they're like, that's not Nezuko. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, obviously because you don't recognize her because she's not drawn in the exact style, which was a little frustrating, but then at the same time, like, I can't expect that from everyone, especially people who don't look for that and see, or who aren't part of that world of knowing, like, oh yeah, it is Nezuko because yeah, I see it in this, and this, right? But in this, I'm trying to figure out, like, this looks like Zoro for different reasons, but also there's something about his face that makes it kind of not him. Like, it makes it a different character, and I don't know exactly what it is that that is causing that for me to not see him in it. Old porcupine head. Hope everything's still good. Okay. Sometimes when I have a scroll wheel, and sometimes I have my mouse on a different screen because I have 3 screens counting this one, and I will scroll. Next thing I know, I look up and I'm super zoomed in on a web page. Sometimes it's just the slightest things. Like maybe his forehead needs to be higher to make him Zoro. Is it the eyes? Like... what is it that makes it not him, right? He's got his 3 swords. Isn't that enough? My first sketch of this, he did not have his swords, actually. They were just next to him and he just had his arms crossed or something. But then I was like, nah, you can't be doing that, right? Like, you got 3 sword style master, dude. You can't just not have 3 swords. Like, he's got to have all 3 swords, right? Also, they should be similar in size. And this one in his mouth seems much smaller than the one in his hand. That's closer. I think that's okay. And that is the advantage of digital drawing. Also, I really want to get good at drawing clothing and like folds and stuff. One of those artists who saves all the tutorials and things on Instagram. You're like, yes, exactly what I needed. And then you never go back to it when you start drawing clothing and stuff. That little thing right there, not going to be seen on the card. Not going to be seen on the card, but for me, it mattered. But one of my favorite things to do is inking. Like, I love the inking part of stuff. It makes me happy. Another thing I'm working on is making sure that I'm showing okay, thanks. Is showing depth in clothing and stuff, right? And weight. Making drawings less flat. And sometimes it's a simple thing like this right here that makes your drawing less flat feeling. I don't know if I have this reference pulled up. Let's see. Let me pull up Pinterest real quick. Just look at some references. Not helpful. I just have Nishinoya on this one. Maybe I have it on my phone. Oh no! Got it. This XP pen came with this sweet pen case, and I didn't realize it for the longest time, but the top is actually supposed to be a pen holder for you. So you can set your pen in there and not lose it. And this part has like a little rubber thing so it doesn't slide around so much. But mostly I just put my pen other places and drop it all the time. All right, let me check references in my phone real quick for this dude. For this guy. I don't want... There we go. No. That's not what I want. Here we go. Okay, so his coat does have little pockets. That's one of the things I wanted to look. Basically, if you watch One Piece at all, this outfit that I like, the characters slowly change their outfits. Like they wear the same thing for a long time, and then as they move into a new arc, sometimes they have a different outfit on. So this is from the Enos Lobby arc, and he's wearing a yellow jacket, which is one of my favorite outfits for him. But I wanted to, I was pretty sure there was pockets. And there is. Oh, actually, there's just folded over tabs. There's just this going on here on both sides. Okay. And his jacket's got this sleeve thing going on here. Oh, it's actually just this. Okay. I think something that makes this not so much him Oh, I realized what I did here. I was so confused. This... Okay, we gotta fix this. This is a sleeve, and this underneath it is his cap that he wears. I forgot about that. So this part is his, that he always has tied around his arm. Yeah. Now it makes sense. Okay. I think I need to make his eyes smaller and his forehead bigger. I think he's got a pretty big forehead. So what if we just take this thing, shunk. Let's move it up and see what happens. Like here. Like I know he's looking, he's got his head down looking up at us, so that will change the anatomy some. And then let's make, I don't want to do just the exact eyes that he has, right? Because that's, eyes is a whole thing dealing with style, but I think his eyes need to be less big. So you could use the word smaller there, I guess, but I want to go with less big and more. Oh, I guess I pulled a gray color. Yeah, that was a little adjustment. I think it's better. Or do we go closer to the style? And his eyes, let's see, are mostly just like straight across like this. Very squinty all the time. I think that makes it almost exactly like the anime, which isn't exactly what I'm looking for. But it could work. Yeah, I think a big thing is just that his eyes are normally like this, right? Yeah, he's struggling. That he's got a lazy eye. Baka. Hmm. I don't know if I like this as much. Like it's closer to the anime style, but I don't know. I don't like that actually. I would rather do it in a different eye thing. Let me look up some more stuff real quick. The struggles, yo. The struggles are rural. Rural struggles. Let me pop out this chat. Move it over here on the side. Can I put it down here? No. Boop. On this side we want this. Okay. What makes... I need to do a little... So what I'm doing now, which you can't see so much, is I'm basically going and looking at fan art of Zoro on Pinterest. Some AI stuff it's clearly AI things. But like what about these still makes it Zoro where mine kind of doesn't? And I think it's very much in the eyes. Yeah, I think I've got I got it down. I think whatever style it is, this top part cannot really be curved. And I think that's what really makes his eyes, and not getting him confused with not him. Gosh, struggle. I guess I could just like copy paste and flip it, but I really don't want to do that. I don't like doing that. I think it's a bad habit trick in digital drawing. There are certain things that for sure just make digital drawing easier, but I don't want to just copy and flip an eye. I'd rather them be slightly off from each other than, and to me it adds more character. There we go. I like that better. I'm gonna move them a little. I think that was it. Actually, that's all I needed. Okay. Sweet. I like that. I like that much better. I'm happy with that. Alright, let's get to drawing the rest of this stuff. Yeah, and I still need to look up his still need to look up his jaw. His sword specifically. He's also always got like these lines on his head to like show where his skull is, right? Almost always. I think thinner eyebrows. Why does his bottom jaw cock to the side? Let's just move this. I'm tired of redrawing it over and over. There we go. This is why we do these sketches and not just ink right away. For me, at least. I mean, as I get better with time, hopefully, I can do that less. And I'll just nail it earlier on and not have to do so much redrawing of things. How far does this go across this chest? It goes the whole way, basically, right? Okay. And then his belly warmer. It really helps if you draw, for me at least, if you draw the folds first and then add the lines and thinking about how it would go through the folds. Because sometimes you draw it first and then you add the fold lines, and that, to me, that's harder to understand the lines. Details no one will ever see. don't know if all of his swords have the bottom like this, but I don't think they do, but I usually draw that. And here's the hilt, and I don't think all the hilts are the same either. No, that's gonna be behind, so you won't even see that. Actually, I think this is gonna be, I think it's gonna be more like this because of the angle it's at. Same with this one. It just doesn't look as good. All right, we got a lot of the sketch down. I think I still need to fix this eye over here. Something with it. I don't think I did anything, but I think it's just because I have this like weird thing going on here with how dark this is. Okay, now let me get some Zoro sword references. I really just need to pull up like a scene and no, I can just Google. Okay, here we go. This is a good. This gives me an idea, but which ones does he have in which hands? Okay, his right one holds that one. His mouth, I believe, holds the white one that he got. Petunia, you're here. What are you doing? Are you on a train going somewhere? You traveling? Are you working? Kinda? 5 minutes. Hey, I appreciate the 5 minutes. I'll take 5 minutes of your time. Nobody else wants it. I'll take you 5 minutes. Nice. So you're on a train? Alright, so this guy, yeah, the white one goes in his mouth, the blackish, purplish, whatever one goes on the right side. Going on a bus. Nice. What do you prefer, trains or buses? Just arrived to Banska. Oh, nice. So now what? Switch buses, or do you stay on your bus? That's a terrible drawing. It doesn't show me anything. Right, that's true. Trains are for free. I always liked riding the trains. But I liked the old train cars. Like, I really liked the old. I think they were great. I mean, they still exist on some trains, but not so much. I'm doing okay. It's kind of a rough day just because of life stuff, but I'm drawing, getting stuff done. figuring out things with the comic convention, what I gotta do, what I gotta get done. Comfy? I feel comfy. I didn't like this room at first. This room is it just had a really terrible vibe and feel to it. But then after I repainted some things and moved my desk in here and added lights and stuff, it really changed the atmosphere a lot. So I like being in this room. The idea was to turn it into something more than what it is, because it's got this bar that they built in the back over here. You can see. Here, I'll just do this. Like, they got this bar over here, which is kind of cool. But, my neighbors below are pretty not nice people. So the idea of having people over and doing fun stuff. And then also that I had to turn this into, like, my office. So... yeah, they're not very nice. I don't see them so much anymore. We just had a really bad experience early on, and maybe it was him just having to assert his dominance as a strong Slovak man, letting me know that he's the boss and he's not gonna tolerate any Americans. But they're always screaming and yelling below. We were grilling out. And so the Zimna Zahrada is like not above his apartment. It's above a warehouse, right? So for those of you who don't know Slovak, the sunroom that I have is not really connected to his apartment normally because it's weird. I'm on the second floor or first floor over here. And it extends out and you have a sunroom over top of like a little warehouse thing. So the floor of the sunroom is above the warehouse, not even above his apartment. And we were mostly grilling out and we were in that area, but we were coming back in sometimes, coming into the kitchen. And also the girls tend to walk very heavy footed with heel first. So it's like, doof, 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 like, and I think the floors are kind of hollow here and sound travels pretty easy in this apartment. So anyways, the girls were out there. Zuzka and I came into the kitchen and it was like 10:30 at night or so because it was like summertime and we had grilled out and we were just chilling. And all of a sudden we just hear like boom, 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 boom. And dude is just smashing on the door and we're like, what? So I walk to the door like, what is going on? And I open it and he's standing there. He's not that, I would say he's younger than me. But he's got this clear like, this is how like, and he's a stocky dude like, meh, you know? So he just always looks angry and like he wants to fight. One of those typical guys. Gotta be manly. In the like worst sense of manly. And he handed me some slippers. But like the really thin ones that are basically not any different than walking barefoot. And he was like, next Apache. And I was like, okay, like here, these are for you, right? This was all in Slovak, so it was hard for me to understand some. And I was like, thanks, but like, why? Like, ďakujem, ale prečo? Nerozumiem. Like, why? Thanks, but I don't understand. And then he was like, he just started yelling, like, blah, blah, blah. And what I understood was like, you're walking around in your shoes all the time. The shoes I had on were Hey Dudes, which have a very soft rubber sole. They're better than the slippers that he handed me, right? So it wasn't me, but it was funny that he's like, you're always walking around in your shoes, and I've got a kid, and she's trying to sleep, and blah, blah, blah. And so Zuzka came around the corner because she realized that he was yelling and that I probably didn't understand everything. So she asks him to calm down. She's like, hey, can you calm down? And he's like, I don't need to calm down, blah. And we were like, we're not even in the apartment. We're out in the sunroom. It doesn't matter where you are. Like, yes, it does, stupid. Like, if we're not above your apartment, we're not making the noise. Like, so then she was like, I'm done. He's not going to listen to us. He's not going to calm down. So she goes to close the door, and he slams his hand on the door and stops her from closing the door. And we were both like, excuse me? And then he said his few more sentences of yelling and then walked off. Like, that was the experience we had. So, yeah. And it was just like, he literally, and Zusko was like, what scares me is he really has that like neo-Nazi, like fascist, nationalist, whatever you want to call it, like feel to him. And that like, he's the boss, right? And so, yeah, he was a douche. That's the guy who lives below me. I hear him and then they're yelling all the time and their kids crying and like, I don't think he ever like beats or anything, but there's always just yelling and they're always, yeah. So that's the attitude of the guy who lives below me. So it kind of just threw off the whole idea of having people over. Like, I probably should still do it, and if he wants to complain, he can complain all he wants. But like, and then he also was like, and we own our apartment and you're just renting. I'm like, so you get to be a jerk? Like, what does that have to do with, like, that has nothing to do with us living here. Like, we both still pay to live here. You don't want noise in your apartment from other people? Buy a house. Like, otherwise, get used to it. Like, this is what gets me with people who, like, live in apartments and they get angry at you for any noise that they hear. And I'm like, okay, what did you expect? You live in an apartment building with other people, and it's an old building, so the insulation is probably terrible, and stuff echoes super easy. All right, sounds good. I will probably still be on. I imagine it probably takes you like 40 minutes to get home or so. I might still be on. We'll see. Safe travels. Šťastné cestu. Happy trails. Yeah, so anyways, that was my experience with our lovely downstairs neighbor. It was great. Okay, back to the sketch though. Zoro's got 3 swords at this point that I know of, and maybe it changes, but this I think is a good reference for them. And I think the white one he has in his mouth, and it has a round hilt. I really, like, can I just get the anime picture of it? I don't think that blue one is one that I've seen yet, or is it? Maybe it is. The blue one goes in his left hand? I just really need a good picture of it. Why does this one show? Okay. Nope. Okay, I see. I see. What does the handle that one? But that one's more like, I guess it's blue. Bluish purple. The one that he catches from old boy. I took a picture of it. Let me check. Sorry guys, I know I'm like slacking here. I'm just trying to get good references for which swords go where. Okay. And I want to see their hilts well, but oh well. I guess it's not so important. His right hand has one that has this little thing on the end also. Let's do this. So this is what the end of this one looks like. Well, zoom in on this so you guys can see it better. Okay. And this comes out some. Just a little. Okay. Give it that 3D look to it. And then it has another piece that comes out further like this. And in this, you have a line here, a line here, here, and then there's one more piece that comes out. Something along these lines. Okay, and the hilt, is this called the hilt, right? This thing is actually more like this. This is what it looks like to me, at least. Probably, I would imagine something like this. Okay. We're gonna reposition that some. There. And it has the typical, just like, oh, the typical diamond thing going on here. Yeah. Because the way that it's, yeah, basically comes across like this. Connects like this. And then yeah, you have this that comes across and wraps around, comes across, wraps around, comes across, wraps around, and then you have this side. If I understand that correct. I could have, maybe I see it wrong. Close enough. Okay, so there's one, the one in his mouth. The bottom here, the base of it, is gonna look something like this. This thing, and this one is also just very simple. There's so many like similar drawings, but at the same time they're different, so it's hard for me to like catch it. I should just, let's do this real quick. Zoro, what do they call those things? What do they call those little things in between? Like it's almost like a intermission. Zoro intermission. Commercial break. let's look at this real quick. Full One Piece characters. Here, let me, I'll show you guys this real quick just so you can see it. Give me a second. No, I don't want studio mode. Rando window. Microsoft Edge. This thing. Here you go. This way you guys can see what exactly I'm looking at also. So these are the little commercial breaks. Okay. Alright, let me turn that down. And we can make this a little bigger for you. My rando window should be behind my El Gato. There we go. Alright. So let's see. There's the Luffy one. Oh, I need to... I don't want this one. I want the one where he's sleeping. I don't want these ones. I want these. Sanji. I missed it. It's somewhere in here. Okay. Let's see. Luffy. There's one where it shows Zoro's swords. If I remember correctly. Yeah. There's Robin. Okay. She likes her books. Good. Old Chopper. Chopper-kun. Sanji. Okay, yeah. Usopp. Was there not the... Did I miss it? Was it the first one? They didn't show it. Oh, here I get a good idea of what the one in his mouth looks like, so that's nice. It's got a round thing. Like, why can't I see more of these? Alright. Zoro intermission. Why does it not? Oh, never mind. It's not as good as what I was hoping. Well, bummer. It's fine. We'll make do with it. I don't know why there isn't like a good... Maybe people think there's a good reference and I'm just a foolio. And can't find it. How? I want to also just see swords and how they do these. Oh, this is a good reference. And I think it's actually from the show. Okay. So again, this one also has like big diamonds on it. Okay. But they should be closer. Alright. See one more here. And now it looks like basically like this is just twisted here. But I don't understand how they do that. I used to know. I've looked at it before to see how they it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Basically you just have these everywhere. And the drawings that you see in the, because I think the fabric just like twists here on the edge. Basically looks something like that. And this one is round. Or oval rather. And has a little depth to it. Something along those lines. Good, that looks good. So far so good. And then the last one over on this side is a different hilt. And this piece is just something along the lines of this. And it might have like a little thing here. All right. And then this is just all twisted, like it's a bunch of lines like this. And then a crisscross. Okay. Good, good. See, that's where you get these diamond shapes in here. From that part where crisscross is. Alright, and this part is totally different. It is... First we do this. Okay, and then it is shaped like, oop, not like that. You have this piece, this piece. Okay, and that's all we gotta show because the other sword's gonna get in the way. Oh, and there's this middle piece right here that is just straight up like a gold piece or something here. And this also has some depth to it. And a couple lines going each direction. Alright, there. I think we got his swords down. Good. Good, good, good. And as far as the blades, yeah. This blade is not. Whoop. Oh, this is actually a really nice reference. But doesn't have the white one though. I hope he doesn't lose the white one in the future. I know there's another sword he gets that I haven't seen yet. This white one has this really, or not white one, this right-handed one that he uses has a very interesting thing to it. The one in his right hand is just a normal, for the most part, blade, and same with the one in his mouth, which I'm gonna redo. I don't like this line here. Wish I could just draw straight, but yeah, like this is hideous. But also I think it should be curved back some. So we're gonna nix that. Okay. Oh, too much of a saber feel to it. I think that's fine. All right. There we go. Zoro's looking pretty freaking sweet. I like that. Let's fix his earrings. Good, good. Add a little more muscle up in here. I don't know what this line is. There was an accident somewhere. Accident line. I think it all looks pretty good. I think that turned out really well as far as the swords and stuff goes. I'm happy with it. Hopefully you guys are happy with it too. Alright, let's move down here to I think that's basically it for the anything else I'm gonna add is just gonna be little details of stuff here and there. But I think the rough sketch, the rough clean sketch is pretty good. I'm happy with this. Like we'll add like, you know, all the other stuff here. And I'll accent his everything when I'm inking. More details, scratches here and there and so on. So yeah, I think we're gonna call it for now. Cause it's almost lunchtime for me and I need to go to the store because I don't got any food here. So yeah, this is what we got so far. I think it turned out pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, there's a good zoom in spot for you. Yep, looks like Zoro to me. I think it's gonna be awesome once we ink it and everything and start adding colors and backgrounds and some thoughts and stuff behind that as to what exactly we're gonna do to make it for the card. Because again, even though I have the sketch, you still have to get into like what background are you going to put on there, how are you going to put the name, and different stuff like that. So any little extra details. So, but this is the first part, and I think this is kind of the hardest part, is just getting the anatomy and pose and everything down and sketched. And then inking inking is fun to me. So yeah, thank you guys for like swinging by. Thanks for checking this out later in the recording if you do, and I hope you stick around. Make sure you have notifications set so you can see when I'm going live. And also, yeah, don't forget to subscribe and just check out the channel whenever. So appreciate you guys, appreciate your time, and as always, keep creating and be inspired.